Welcome to Assembly Calendar. I'm Mike Frezon. With us for our program today is Assemblyman Will Barclay. Will Barclay represents the 120th Assembly District in New York State. That's an Assembly District that includes the counties of Oswego, Onondaga, and Jefferson. And we want to thank you folks all across the region for joining us for our program. And Will Barclay, as I'm sure the folks watching can plainly see, we have a guest with us in the studio today. I'll give you the honors of the introduction.
Well, thanks, Mike. It's a pleasure to be here. One of the great things about the 120th Assembly District, we got a lot of challenges that we've talked about in shows past, but one of the things we have is great people. And I'm so pleased to have Bob Green here. Bob's a 91-year-old Navy World War II veteran, and he's down here touring the Capitol, but really he's down here to do our TV show, because not only has Bob had an amazing career over his time, he has done a lot of community service, and one of the big things that Bob's done is Team Green, correct, Bob?
Green Team.
The Green Team, I'm sorry.
Green Team.
Okay, anti-litter campaign.
First, let me thank you for your service, Bob Green.
You're welcome.
World War II, we're honored to have a World War II veteran here in the studio with us today. Did you like your tour of the Capitol?
Oh, it's awesome. I just can't fathom, you know.
We tell people all the time that if they ever make the trip to Albany, they need to take the tour of the Capitol. It's really worth it, right?
It is, certainly.
It's an incredible building.
It's really unique, don't you think, the Capitol itself, Bob? I mean, it's not most state capitals or even our national capital, you think of a dome.
Yeah.
But we have a unique building, and it really is kind of makes you proud to be a New Yorker when you come down and visit.
I did the honorary tour to Albany with the sailors, or with the tour servicemen out of Rochester, and it was nothing like this. It was awesome. But
it's a fantastic thing. Glad you enjoyed that. And we're going to be here today talking with you about the Oswego County Green Team and how it got started and what it is you do and why it is you do it. But I would be remiss. One of the things Will said was about your life story and the fact that you are a Navy veteran from World War II and all the other things you've done in your life. You've put a lot of those stories together in a book, and we're going to do a shameless book plug, not something we usually do a lot here on Assembly Calendar, but let you folks know that Bob Green's got a book out telling some of those stories. What kind of things do people find out in that book?
Well, I found out I came from a family of 11 people, children, and 7 of us survived, and had 2 stepmothers and all that stuff. And I grew up, and well, what can I say? I worked my dad worked in the paper mill, and we worked there also. I fired boilers whether I wanted to or not. And I missed a lot of the school dances because I had to fire the boilers. I get home and wash my neck and wear a white shirt and go to the tail end of the dance. I get home, look at the shirt, it's filthy. The pores. I'm wasting time here.
Yeah, so a lot of tales about growing up in the old days, maybe. Some of those kinds of stories, huh?
Yeah.
But just not to refocus, but I mean, you've had an amazing career, but one of the most amazing thing about your career is how much community service that you've given back to the Fulton and Oswego County community.
Yes.
I mean, you've been on the library, you've been active in the library, the YMCA.
Board.
What other things have you done?
Oswego County Tourism.
Yeah, that's right.
And IMC Club, I was president of that for a year. And most of this stuff happened after I got out of this, I retired.
Right.
That's 93. So I've enjoyed my life. I've been lucky. I don't know why I lived this long. All my brothers and sisters, they died at 83. Here I am, almost 92, still kicking.
Healthy living.
What would you say, there's a lot of people watching this program who haven't had that kind of commitment to their community, who haven't served on the boards, who haven't organized teams to help keep things clean.
Right.
Is there something that you would say to those people about why it's important to serve the community?
Certainly, because, well, I'll tell you exactly. I started out, I live in the country, and I got so fed up in the mornings going out and picking up trash off my lawn. And then when I went to one of the tourism meetings, Fran Verteliva had the program that day from the Altmar hatchery. He got through talking about the hatchery, and then he started talking about the litter. He said, it's all over the place, it's terrible. He said, even people are putting their diapers in our waste cans. I can't pay my men to do that. The water going down the Salmon River, the banks are all full of trash, and white coffee cups forming down at Pulaski like foam. And, anyway, but since then he's done a terrific job. He got about 15 entrances to the river, and he's put up signs he bought for littering, and carried in, you carry it out.
We've got a picture on standby of one. I think it's the Salmon River hatchery, right?
Yes.
And the amount of trash that can get piled up there on any given day. We've got it up on the screen now.
Right.
I mean, that's a pretty regular occurrence from what you've been telling me.
Exactly. It's still going on that way. We went over to the Bullhead Point in Fulton a couple years ago, the Rotaries, and my team, we cleaned up on a Saturday and went back on Monday. It was just as bad. That just shows how bad the littering is. How do you get the message out to the people to stop littering?
So you've organized the Oswego County Green Team.
Right.
Tell us how that got started. I mean, you've
Sure.
explained the problem exists.
Well, after I got through listening to Fran, he said the signs are down, fines for littering. He said it's just rampant, and in their places is signs that says adopt a highway, 2 years. What that sign says, it's okay to litter because somebody will come and pick it up after you. So, well, then I got with Janet Clerk and I in Oswego County Tourism, and I talked to her about establishing this committee. She thought that was a good idea. So we did. We were part of the Oswego County Tourism, and for a while they bought some bags for us, and then after a while we branched out on our own, and we bought bags that were what do you call it, recyclable, and anyway, so that's what we're now. We're going to give them to the kids, the grade school kids, and tell them about the litter, and then give them the bags to take home to their parents to put in the.
Why, one of these bags right
That's
here.
exactly right.
This is one of the bags.
Yeah.
Don't be a litter bug. Keep
Yeah.
Oswego County green
It's
and
also,
clean.
Also recyclable.
So this is your first nudge to the community. The kids bringing the bags home, right?
These are 40 cents a piece.
No kidding.
That's our base cost.
So, Mr. Green, didn't you start a pilot program in the Fulton School District, correct?
Yes, I did.
And then you expanded from there?
The superintendent, yes, I talked to him, Bill Lynch, and I asked him, could I get an audience with him? And he said, yes. So he had me in their assemblies, and I gave each one of them a bag. And that was a terrific start on the whole thing.
So it kind of makes sense that, to prevent future littering, we want to get to the kids early to teach them that it's not all right to litter.
Right, yes.
And then we have to hit the older folks that maybe didn't get that message when they were younger, but at least try to teach them now and make sure not only not to litter, but when you see litter, pick it up.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But we're talking some of the organizations, like the Volney Seniors, I'm going to put a program on this week all about it, and things like that. And one of the auto dealers out in Pulaski, he's putting the bags in each new car. That's getting the message out really good, along with the flyer.
All right. Now the green team itself, you've got a brochure together that explains pretty much soup to nuts, right? About what goes on. We've got that up on the screen now, and it shows all the different activities. It's got statistics on why the littering is bad.
Oh, the price.
And it says here, U.S. taxpayers spend $11 billion a year because of litter.
And there's another $99 billion the businesses have to pay. I don't understand why somebody hasn't jumped on this. it's costing us this money, but why don't we spend some money to stop it? That's what we're after.
Right.
I'd like to see some signs back up. It's hard to convict anybody. There's so much you gotta do to grab them.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. And that's what you got. That's how you also you're going to stop the problem.
Right.
Right.
In the parks, you go into camp. You go in. It says you carry it in, you carry it out, and that's effective because they're on the register. When they leave, the guy goes back and checks your site and makes sure that he's got you.
And on the bottom of the brochure, you were very certain to point out to me a quote from what's probably got to be your favorite author right here, Louis L'Amour.
Yeah, he was a famous Western author, excuse me, but he wrote a lot of other books too. But he talked about how the Indians appreciated nature and all that and how they worshipped it. And he came up with this quote: "We are the stewards of our universe. We have temporary use of it while we're here. Therefore, it's up to us to take care of it, making it a better place for our children and generations to come." I think that's it in a nutshell.
That seems like it's it to me. Plus, if you join the green team, you get a really cool T-shirt.
Yeah.
I mean, right there,
great,
right?
yeah.
I mean, you hook these up. You're hooked up with a T-shirt.
Yeah.
And how does it work? How do you get people to join the team and go out and help pick up the trash?
Well, these are longtime members that we started out with originally. I just recently got a girl on the team. She's a sheriff, and I was at the health center, and she had a display up, and I went and told her about this. She was surprised. Well, I never heard of this before. So the next thing I know, I got acquainted with her, and how would you like to join our team? And sure enough, she's in the swiggle.
Persuasive guy.
Well, she gets a T-shirt out
Right.
of it.
T-shirt
Well,
too,
I
but
mean,
why not?
she saw the benefit of the whole thing.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. People should see the benefit.
They
I mean,
do.
people need to think twice before they throw the candy wrapper, the
Yeah,
cigarette butt,
exactly.
or their trash for
Yeah.
camping from a weekend
Yeah.
or whatever it may be.
And what Bob didn't mention, but it's very true. We're a very tourist-centric type county. We get a lot of economic development through tourism, don't we?
Yes.
And, one thing that can crush someone that's visiting the county, if they see a lot of trash around, they don't want to come back. So
No.
not only you said whatever $11 billion would cost cleanup. Think of the lost costs if you don't have a clean community, that people won't come to your
That's
community and they
right.
won't visit
And when
camp and whatnot.
And when you've got volunteers doing this kind of work, that saves government more money too.
Absolutely.
I mean, because there's part of the pickup that is not being paid for by government to have somebody go out and do it, and that's giving back to the community and taking care and being proper stewards of our resources.
That's exactly right. But our thrust is to stop the littering or diminish it as much as we can. There's a lot to be done on it.
And what's the motto of the Green Team?
What is it?
Don't be a litter bug, I thought.
Yeah.
Isn't that the
Don't
motto?
be a litter bug. It says so right here. It's a great big thing. Don't be a litter bug.
I've got it. I didn't know it.
Yes. I told you there'd be one curveball in this whole
That's right.
interview.
And folks can find Bob Green, and you folks in the community know where you can find him. He'll be glad to give you any kind of information, statistics, brochures, T-shirts, whatever it is you might be interested in, to how to get involved and become part of the Green Team, right?
Litter bags. We need young people to go out and talk to the community, or retired teachers. That's what we need.
Bob Green, thanks for joining us today. We're out of time. Appreciate you coming in. Thank you again for your service, both in the military service and in the community.
This is a wonderful opportunity. I can't thank you enough.
Thank you.
Will Barclay, thank you for joining
Thanks,
us
Mike.
today. And thank you folks all throughout the region for joining us for this important program. We'll hope to see you soon for our next edition of Assembly Calendar.